All right. So as I said, my time here is becoming very much so obvious that at some point I won't be able to make video. They are definitely making me more and more forgetful of reality and try to make me go into the ways they manipulate my brain and put things together. So that's why I make these videos. I know they don't like it. They try to play it off like it's just like it's just oh, you're gonna make a video. I know they don't like it because what happened is by me making videos, it shows that I'm not identifying with these manipulations. It shows that I'm aware that they are manipulating me to think in these ways, to recall like it shows that, and they don't like that. They want me to identify with these nonsensical things. It's so disgusting. So this video is how to they just use random facts of things. They bring up things that makes like they want credibility. They want you to be to see them as a credible source of reality. They want you to start thinking about, oh, you make sense. That makes sense. You're right. You are right. Maybe that's true. That's truly me. Like yes, no, no. These perceptions of things is just organic. Like this is it makes sense. Whatever you're doing, it makes sense. And so what they do, they bring up things that are just randomly there, right? Not there, but just certain facts of things you've watched. Like they brought a movie that I remember watching when I was very young, right? Of course, these people, in order to change you, they have to know you. How do they change people they don't know? They know everything about you, and their job is to rewire you, change you into something else. And so they get you to get all these kind of disgusting reactions to things and try to make it seem like it's you at some point. They like to make you think that that was you when you're a child, but sometimes now at this point they don't even do this. That's when they kind of go too far, I guess, because at that point you lose me immediately. This thing, right? So they bring random things. Somebody say, "Oh, you're lazy." And one time in my life, there's times where like I thought, okay, I'm becoming lazy. Let me do things to try to not be lazy, right? Yes. And so what they would do, and there's you see, we tell you the truth, then that's weird. We're telling you it's like I know somebody, right? I know this person, and I'm trying to change that person. I want that person to trust me when I'm trying to change them or her, right? So first I say things like, you like the color red," and that person be like, "Oh yes, I like the color red." So so you stole money. You like to steal money. That's you. She doesn't steal money, but she likes the color. Like you understand what they do. They obviously know you. This technology knows everything about you and then change you, rewire you to accept these disgusting things. It's super like as sophisticated this weapon is, it's also kind of easy to understand what they're doing. And it's like, you're saying certain things like that. Okay, so I'll be like, oh yeah, yeah, that's yeah. Oh, so this is no. Then you try to. It's like no, 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 no. Remember, you play basketball like in third grade. So I'm telling you that that's true. And those bring other things and try to create in something else. So just nonsensical. One thing that just kind of started messing with me, like I said, these people have started not too long ago, actually a while ago, doing these things where they erase your memories and make you experience. And I talked about it many times. They try to change every time any experience you had with children to add the stimulation that I'm experiencing now, so they can say we matched. Here's the pattern. We matched. No, they didn't match. What's happening is they're making me experience what I'm experiencing today. I've said that many times, and they're doing more and more. So my memories are erased and changed into something they created. They're creating false patterns by creating the patterns themselves. Is one thing. I was in a shower and it started making me think of Syria, right? The war in Syria. And one thing you remember about the war in Syria initially when it was on TV all the time, they always showed like what happened to these kids that they that they end up being the victims, from the bombs and everything. It was so sad to see all these kids dying. And they start giving me stimulations into the memories, it's the sensation I'm getting now, and said, you see, we're matching. you see that this is what you're experiencing now. No, this is what you make me experience. And my brain, of course, at this point is more and more ravaged. I'm saying my memories is ravaged to the nth degree. They're gonna make me feel these disgusting thing, and they're gonna try to make you accept that. So this memory, which I don't even need to experience the memory again to know that this is falsified. I didn't have these nasty things. I know. Remember the Sierra War did get to me because it was so sad to see how many kids were dying in these cities. It's so sad. As I'm saying that they're doing things to me is so disgusting. But this beautiful kids dying in the streets, poor kids just like dying all around the street. And it was really heartwarming, and it's hard to see, right? And they're trying to turn that into this nasty stimulation that they make me have today, because their goal is to make me accept these nasty stimulations. There's this neighbor kids they've done nasty things to me, and they do these things and want me to subscribe to it. And you hear this child, like not even child, this fraudulent shit. Sorry, this person that's trying to make herself like you're gonna rot in hell. She's saying that not because she wants to warn me that I'm gonna rot in hell. She just wants me to be like identify. Oh, you feel this way, you're gonna rot in hell. Because it's you. No, regardless of where I die, regardless of if I when I rot where I'm gonna rot, you are forcing me to create this disgusting thing. To be honest, I'd rather rot in hell than having to do what you do. Because one, I'm not letting you live your fantasy. You're making me experience these things disgustingly this way. And then you try to make me subscribe to what is happening to me today. But the manipulation of my memories that you're making me experience. And so this one thing they're doing, sorry, I'm adjusting my mask. One thing they keep doing is then they try to have this argument like, oh no, but these stimulations were just specific to little girls, but not little boys, because this is what's happening today. They have me have like extreme stimulation toward these little kids, especially little girls. Nasty. And they're like, no, that was you when you were a kid. And then they'll bring back, okay, but when you were a kid, remember feeling this way? And they make me feel this way and bring it back to me very young. And then they're like, but when there was a little boy, didn't feel this way. And it's me when I'm a child. To get me to accept these disturbing things that they make me have today. First of all, I'm not a child. What the hell are you talking? Like, what? And I'm talking about me as very young, as a 9-year-old kid. It's disgusting. And then me as a 34-year-old, I'm like, oh my gosh, it makes sense. You're not doing the pedophilia type of tormenting. It's me when I was a kid. And they're like, no, but remember what you did as a kid. It's like, I know what I did to myself as a child, but I did not feel these feelings that you're making me feel today. This is what you're making me feel today. It's the experience that I'm experiencing today. But what I did as a child is what a child can do just dumbly, just stupidly, impulsively. That's why it happened just one time. Because a child is a child. But you are forcing me to experience these weird feelings and say that you are matching it to me when I was a kid. And there's one moment I remember, so nasty. And they're trying to make me accept this. I remember going to the elevator. There was like two little kids, very cute kid. There's one little girl just hiding behind her father's leg and just like look at me and just kind of giggling. And they start giving me this disgusting stimulation. It was nasty. And I'm like, oh, and they're like, no, remember that was you when you were a kid. It's like, so nasty. Of course, it's not me as a child. It's what you're making me experience today. This is disgusting. I don't experience these things naturally. You are forcing me to experience these things, and they want me to try to track this thing to figure out where is it coming from. It comes from these people manipulating my brain and try to cover it up as if it's me when I was a child. So to my target individual, this is what they do. These people not only do this nasty manipulation, but they torture children sexually. Why do you think they're capable of doing this to an adult? Why do you think they're capable of manipulating somebody to experience things like that as an adult? It's because they have capability to do this to children, torture children. They do the pedophilia things. They force you to experience pedophilia. It's not you when you're a child. You're a grown man. How can you even have this logic in your head? How? You're not a child. You're an adult, man or woman. How? Who can try to force you to make you think this way and be like, oh, this is logical? Somebody who's gaslighting you and try to make you accept these things. They literally bluntly manipulate a memory that you know is completely falsified. You can experience the memory the way it was. It's done. That's why I make these videos is to my target individuals and to for myself. They don't like when I make videos because what is happening is they want me to identify to these things. They want you to identify. And so me, regardless of how things are playing in my brain, they want me to be like it's you. There's one thing that they brought up and it was so disgusting. It's there was this little girl. I remember seeing her in 2019. I think seen a few videos of her before August 19th, 2019, and she was dancing. She was like super sassy dancing, and it was very cute and very like what was the word? I don't know. She had like a lot of uh somebody say swagger. I guess when she was doing her dance. Saw it finally like oh my okay. I was like enjoying it in a normal way, non disgusting ways. They forcing me to experience things now. Now it's just I came to watch 2 seconds of it. This is blunt manipulation of the before and the after. Before enjoying, love it. Now disturbed, disgusting. Can't even watch it for 2 seconds without getting this disturbingness. And they're like, no, we matched it to you when you were a kid. I'm like, what the hell? I was an adult in 2019, before August 19th. So you tell me somehow now you just rewind my brain to be a child, to experience things like a child. Why? It's because you do the pedophilia type of torture and you want me to accept this pedophilia type of things as if it's me. You're not mean. This is your job. They like to like be condescending, right? They like to be condescending in the sense that what we do is mean because they want to down the level of disgustingness. The fact that these people are very pedophilia centric. They torture children. They do all these horrible things, and they're nasty. And they like to say, "Oh, we won because we're forcing you to think this way." No, this is not a winning or losing. My brain is going to be overridden by this ways of thinking. I'm going to walk around or be around with these ways of thinking because you can manipulate my thoughts to go this way. You override my consciousness with these ways of thinking. It's done. But I'll never subscribe to this thing. Now, if you're gonna frame me, you're gonna do all this. This validates me. You are not gonna leave. I'm not gonna leave this earth, this planet, without you knowing and give you the credit that you have. You need to have. You are a trash human being that works in a program that manipulates people to think in this person, in this nasty pedophilia ways. That's your job. Be proud of that if that's what you want to be proud. I don't care. Sometimes they're like, "Oh, I feel bad about it." It's like, why do I care if you feel bad? I don't care if you feel bad. I don't like. They try to like. It's like they tell themselves things that they want me to know. No, listen. Me caring about you feeling bad doesn't matter. I don't care. There's no feeling bad for. Don't feel bad. Please don't. I'd rather you do your thing and just feel like life is gonna be normal. Do what you do, but understand. I'm not gonna let you leave your fantasy. That's one thing. Feeling bad, I don't care. I don't want you to feel bad. I don't care. If you feel bad for what? What's it going to do to me? I want you to feel the way you should feel, which is knowing what you're part of. You are forcing people to think in this nasty, disgusting ways, and you create these false patterns that you create yourself and then talk about. No, we matched it to you when you were a child. If I showed you who said that in front of me, you would be like, "Oh my gosh, oh my goodness, this person." There's one person in the elevator. She looked like she was on drugs. She's not on drugs, but she probably like stays indoor doing this thing to me 24/7, and so it looks like she's just not like she's her life is just doing this thing to me. They're trash. If so, for me, is this this technology has the capability of they know you, the real you, for sure, like all the way. That's why they go into your memories and try to find what they can manipulate to make you subscribe to this. I would not be able to change you if I didn't know you. Obviously, they know the real me. Obviously, they can bring up a memory that's when I was like 7. I understand that. That's why they're capable of manipulating my memories. How can you manipulate somebody's memory if you don't know their memory in the first place? They know this. And their job, their assignment is to make me accept these newly made manipulations of my memories. And then say, we matched it. We matched with you when you're like 9 years old, 10 years old. No, when you're 13. when you just turn 14. This is this, and then they add this stimulation that in the memories. That's how it goes. And now, as a 30-some-year-old man, you have adult people who say, "No, it's you. We matched you when you were a kid," and you're supposed to be like, "Oh my gosh, it makes sense." And they're like, "Oh, you're gonna be castrated now." It's like I'd rather get castrated than do what you do. You freaking idiotic pedophiles. I'd rather get tortured. Where you gonna walk around, get your coffee, live your life, and it's like, "Oh my gosh, oh, we won this war that we don't actually are in." The who just doing this pedophile type of torture. He didn't subscribe to it. I'm gonna live my life doing these things to people, try to make them accept these pedophile ways that these people are not gonna subscribe to. That's why I make these videos now because I can feel my brain just vanishing and going through this retardation of thoughts where they're like, oh, you, and right now, and just to wrap, they're like, these things, this feeling. Remember when and they make. Can you imagine being 30 some years old and having to think of you when you're like 12 years old, 13 years old, 14 years old, 9 years old, 8 year old, and try to like, so you remember this, and they give me this weird feeling toward little girls, and like bring it back to me when I'm like 12 years old or 13 or whatever age. And you're like, oh, it's true. No, it's how you can implant these memories. These people have this implanted same memories in memories I obviously know is manipulated. When I'm like listening to the news about Syria or watching the news about Syria and give me these feelings. And you hear this trash say, "Oh, you're gonna rot." I'd rather rot than be rotten. These people are rotten. I'm rotting. I'm rotting because my body is being tortured and killed. My organs. These people are rotten because they sold their soul and dignity to pedophiles. And now I'm here thinking about me as a kid and try to. They have these people forcing me to be feeling emotion and stimulation that they make me feel today because they want to match it to me when I was a kid. And when I was a kid, they put these stimulations as me as a kid without falsified to make it match it to today. These are rotten low lives, sad piece of shit. To be honest, sorry about the language. I'm not even trying to just insult them, but you gotta understand this is what they do. To them, it just makes sense, and they're like, "Oh no, they are. It was you when you were a kid." Can you imagine saying that to a 30-some-year-old man? To them, it's like, oh, these people who do the perfect type of torture. It makes no sense, and they're like, "Oh, because obviously we sound retarded when we say sorry. We sound stupid when we say that, or they're gonna hurt you because then it makes more sense." These people are filled with pedophiles today in those agencies. They do the pedophile type of torture. I'm gonna make a video about how all the testimonies of how they rewire your brain, implant personality. Sometimes, when they do these things like they are, and I'm looking at myself as a kid, I'm like, oh my gosh, the embarrassment, the humiliation of this is beyond. It's beyond. And this is what they use people who have no self-respect. They just say things like, they are. So it's like you couldn't even want to be seen by me because you are so. You sound so childlike. No matter what's gonna happen to me, target individual, I'm gonna make my duty right now is to continue to make videos and put things back in perspective for people who also experience this kind of things. This is not logical. It's not rational. It's meant to break you down. It's meant to make you accept this nonsensicalness. I know that these people are so desperate to try to create their point, but at this point, I've I've validated myself in so many levels that they can't really make sense of it. Can you imagine? I'm trying to make you accept a personality, and I say that's the things that you used to feel like or experience when you were a kid. You and a 30-some-year-old man. To them, that makes sense. These people who filled with pedophiles that do the pedophile type of torture, and me making these videos is obviously something they don't like, because what it says is he's not even subscribing to it. She's experiencing all these things. His memories are manipulated. He feels these things. He feels these things, but he's not. He's understanding something's happening. What can we do? Or let's tell him about the warnings of the torture that he's going to experience. When they start talking about Syria, and I was like, oh my gosh, whew. And then they try to go back. Oh, little girls, you felt this way. Remember feeling, and then give me this weird feelings of me when I'm a kid feeling some way. I'm like, oh gosh. First of all, I'm an adult man. What are you saying about me, a kid, as a kid? It's like this is what you're feeling now. So you're making me feel what I was feeling when I was a kid, when I'm in my 30s. Oh, we're mean. You are just an idiotic low life pedophiles that try to make me experience pedophilia, experience disgusting things. In every way you try to put this thing together is idiotic, it's disgusting, and it's pedophilia centric, which makes sense. This is what you guys been doing. My memories that are obviously manipulate from the memories of me when I'm a child, then that at least there you can just make it more camouflaging because I'm a kid of like whatever age, under 14, 14, 13, 11, 9, 8. They try to like really it goes even to 8 years old. They have no shame. And so me as a 30-something-year-old, I'm like, oh my gosh, yeah, of course it's me. You just investigate it. You look at it. These people filled with pedophiles in these agencies who happen to do a lot of pedophile type of torture and torturing children, by the way, are just at war and trying to figure you out. Ugh, trash. And then lastly, what like one thing they like to talk about is like what I actually like. What as a kid I did something stupid. Like um I remember I know that this is the one dumb thing I've done, but as a kid at that age, you can do impulsive things with no real, real like plan or anything. You just do some stupid things. That's what kids are capable of doing. But then I get validation by these people who torture children sexually and try to talk about me as a kid and try to create these patterns that they have to manipulate. These people torture children. These people do horrible things to children. They're gonna try to turn me round and round and make me accept these things. Never. These feelings that you make me feel is what you're making me feel today, and this is how you're implanting that in my memories and try to camouflage. Then they say like, but if you didn't feel these things, why when you were a 14-year-old kid you did whatever you did? It's because a 14-year-old child can do anything in these impulsive ways and not think twice about it. That's why that happened. And whoop, you never. My brain just disappeared. So impulsive, so childlike, so like typical what a kid can do and not think twice about. But they have to exaggerate the things I did as a child. The thing I did. That's how it's. What that's like. No, but if you didn't remember that, then it feels like exactly. It means that now it gives you the opportunity to manipulate my memories as a child in every way possible. Their job is to make you accept these disturbing things that you experience now. Can you imagine me in my 30s having to be like having battles like, no, it's a pattern of you when you were a kid. We matched it to you when you were a kid, but I'm a grown man. What do you mean? You are forcing me to experience that. And even what I'm experiencing as my memory as a child is obviously manipulated. Now they don't even care. They do this when I'm like 29. I'm listening to like the news or watching the news. Now they're forcing me to have this experience. It's like, of course, if you can manipulate this memory that not too long ago, my memories of as a child is going to be easily manipulated. So to all my target individuals, know one thing: in order to manipulate you, they know you. They have already actually mapped you out, and now what they're doing is find ways to change you because they have everything they need to manipulate you and make you believe that these feelings, experience is true. And they use these people who have no self-respect, who can sit there, watch you, understanding what they're doing, with no self-respect, will be like, okay, yeah, okay, he's gonna say that, he's going, yeah. So for me, that's my job till my last breath, till I can't do it. I will continuously provide information for maybe somebody who's not seeing it the right way and who's a target individual. Do not subscribe to these things. Torture is gonna happen, okay? So torture doesn't validate anything. Torture is actually the opposite of validation. Torture is something that's used to make you accept something that's falsified. And they use that. They like to talk about like, yo, you're gonna be tortured. I was like, of course I'm gonna be tortured. That's because I'm not subscribing to it. And torture makes you subscribe to things that you won't subscribe. They torture people who are not going with the flow. And I'm not going with this bullshit. Sorry for the language once again. They force you to experience disgusting experience toward children. It's so nasty, but that's what they do. I'm never gonna subscribe to it. I know it's not me. I know who I am, and I know who I've been for most of my life. So you trying to make me accept these things is not gonna work. If I'm experiencing this, it's because you guys have the ability to manipulate me in every way possible. Then I'll die, like they say, in whatever rotting ways. But I'll never give you that. And you went through your whole acting gigs. Oh, there's a, oh, and it's this one person was saying, oh, you have like 10, you dead like 15% dead, right? And I'm like, how many percent dead are you? Change subject. Oh, they're gonna rape you. Exactly. I'm a vessel of some sort too, and I find myself lucky that I didn't have to I had to I didn't have to be what they do or what they're doing, but I'm dying with dignity. It's sufferance, but it's honorable sufferance. I'd rather suffer this way than live the way they live. Obviously, I don't want to be suffering at all, but this is a dignified way of suffering. It's an honorable death. So to all my target individual, know that you're dignified and do not subscribe to these things. Please don't. Please don't. Be strong. Thank you.